Hi, I'm uniquely comfort Angel. I'm here to present my speech. Is there really a place for women in marriages? Is there really a place for our young girls and our women in the society? Is there really a place for our young boys and our men in the society? Hey, I'm here to talk about gender based violence. What is gender based violence? Gender based violence is a violence that's inflicted on someone based on their gender. I'll talk about the types, the forms, the causes, and the effects, and possibly solutions to gender based violence. One, we have physical violence. This is that kind of violence that is being inflicted on someone's body physically with the use of objects. It could be either beating, shouting, hitting, cutting, shooting with objects, slapping, boxing. Many men are prone to always inflict pain on their women when they are angry. They beat them up. Even women to beat their husbands. Oh, this one of the those kind of violences that inflict injuries on the human body. Two, we have sexual violence. This is that kind of violence that is as a result of someone forcing, intimidating another person into any kind of sexual act. Perhaps the person could be under the influence of drug or alcohol. And one of these kind of sexual violence is defilement, where a minor is being defied through an act of forcing himself sexually and actually having sex with a minor. We have another sexual violence, which is rape, where an adult forces himself on another adult or a younger person for sexual intimacy without the person's consent. And the third kind of sexual violence that we have is harassment, where women are being harassed on a daily basis at work with demeaning words, or at times in the streets and community where their body parts are being touched. The third kind of gender-based violence that we have is psychological or emotional gender-based violence. This kind is when someone is subjected to another person's demeaning behavior, and fear sets in with anxiety, pressure, depression, stress. Most people experience mental health disorder, emotional issues when they come in contact with other people's behaviors. And the fourth kind of violence that is being inflicted in our community is economic violence, where someone deprives another person of his or her income or the right to work to gain income. We have this among married couples or people in relationships, whereby a husband might stop the wife from working irrespective of the fact that she has the qualification to work for the government or the community or an enterprise or a company, or perhaps she's working and the husband collects her salary or income and deprives her of managing her hard-earned income. Oh my, we have the fifth kind of violence that's been inflicted on gender in the community, which is traditional practices. Harmful traditional practices that have been passed from one generation to the next, from one culture to the next, is causing more harm than good on the individuals. The perpetrators of this act are causing more harm than good, and the types of this kind of harmful practices are genital mutilation or cutting down of a woman's cervix. The women are being destroyed at a young tender ages, where their sexual and health reproductive organs are being affected, and in the long run they suffer a lot from all these reproductive areas and processes. We have early marriages, where minors are being given into marriages to older men. Children are given into marriages to older men. Early marriages, and they are not psychologically, emotionally, financially, economically, intellectually prepared for this. Their human right, they are being violated of their principal human right of education. They cannot pursue education, and they are being deprived of education in the community. Tribal marks too. It's one of those kind of harmful traditional practices that has been inflicted on people. And then these effects of all this gender-based violence on the individuals are unwanted pregnancies, false pregnancies, sexually transmittable disease, because you don't even know the stages of the perpetrator or the victim, and they can get STDs and all the sexually transmittable diseases. You have injuries, you have death, you have family disputes between husband and wife, when they have to keep on fighting over income and all that. These are one of the causes of divorce in marriages, and at times even leads to death. The woman will not want to walk away. In conclusion, I'm here to remind us that we can eradicate this. We can speak to our daughters and sisters and men and husbands and boys to seek for help in NGOs and communities and organizations and welfare organizations. Why? Because together we can live in a safety environment with peace and dignity, where fundamental human right is not an option. Do you know one thing? In Kenya, in 2019, 108 women died of gender-based violence infliction by their partners, and 1 out of every 3 women experiences gender-based violence activity in her lifetime. We can stop this. Enough is enough. It's time for us to cry out for help. It's time for us to seek for help. It's time for us to reach out to them and cry out to them, to reach out to help from their loved ones, from people well trusted, from the government, from the community, from social welfare services. They need help. We need to reach out to one another. Why? Because I say no to gender-based violence.